Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing? So welcome to today's episode of Tuesdays with Dr. T. So on 24th of this month, October, I had my 7 years anniversary with my husband. So I thought today I am going to be sharing the 7 things I learned in my marriage that has helped me become the best autism parent for my son, and that has helped us achieve monumental success in getting my son's recovery or developmental delay or milestones back. So I am welcoming all of you to my today's episode. And before anything else, I just wanted to say that thank you so much for being here with me, even though sometimes I'm not very consistent. Some weeks I do make videos, some weeks I do not. So that's life. I am learning to be more consistent. I'm sorry for my phone here. Okay. So I'm learning to be more consistent, to be more present and be there for you guys whenever you need me. All right. So I want to get started. The first thing I want to share with you guys is, okay, let me get my stuff here first. Am I alive, by the way? I am actually streaming both in my Instagram and in my Facebook group. So if I'm looking here and there, it might be because of the 2 cameras that I have. It's just that I wanted to get to both of you people if you are there. So let's just get into it without rambling on, because I feel like I'm rambling a little bit here today, probably because I feel a little nervous today. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I learned in my 7 years of marriage that has helped me overcome a lot of the fears that I had when I started working with Muhammad. The first one is the way I was parented, the way I was raised will dictate my parenting style. Okay. So the thing is, I have my notes here. So the thing is, the way that my parents, my mother, my father raised me has shaped the way I will parent. And it's not just for me, it's for everyone. You will imitate or emulate or follow through, even though not consciously all the time, even most of the time subconsciously, but you will most of the time follow through and work as a parent just as you were parented. Okay. And why is that so? Because when I was small, okay, when I was young, I didn't know about the world. I didn't know about things. I was a neurodiverse. I still am. So my parents didn't know about neurodiversity. All they knew was I was slow. I have a slow processor. I am slow. And then everybody in my family, close family members or distant family members, relatives, they will always make fun of me that I don't understand things. I am quote unquote retarded. I am stupid. I am idiot and things like that. Okay. So the thing is, if my mom truly believed that I was lacking in a lot of things that are needed, then what would have happened is she might have not given me that much of the priority and love, which has helped me move forward with life. Okay. So cut back to my own parenting style. When I was parenting Muhammad, I'm still parenting Muhammad, by the way. When I was starting with him, I believed in him way more than anybody else believed in him. Just like my mom believed in me way more than the doctors, the family members believed in me. Okay. So you, as a mom, if you are listening to me at this moment, you have to be the one believing in your child the most. Okay? You just have to have like blind trust and faith in your child's ability, because first of all, he's human, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God has created humans like no other creatures on the world. Okay? So he has the potentiality to reach success if you are there to give him what he really needs. Okay. So the first thing that I learned is the way I was parented has affected my own parenting style. And if your parenting style is not on par, I would invite you to deep dive on yourself, on your parenting style, how you parent, how you try to understand your child need or not. All of those things you can actually change. Okay, so let me give an example. When I was with Salamu Alaikum Shamama, then I have a lot of people's here. Thank you so much for coming in. And the thing is, when I was mother of Ira, she was really hard to parent. Why? Because she was actually bringing up a lot of my own fears of not being good enough. My daughter was bringing up a lot of my own fear of not being good enough, because all through my life, I was always told by people, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. So I have had this huge belief that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough, mom. I'm not doing enough. So what I would do is I would lose patience faster. I would get angry, upset, depressed faster. Yuka. And then all of those things were affected my child and my children. Okay. So look into your own parenting style. The 5 pillars that I talk about all the time and that we believe in so strongly, that helps our child. One of that pillar is parenting, need-based parenting, okay? So you might as well learn how to be the best parent for your child, not based on others' expectation of you or standard of you, but based on what your child needs from you. Just that. Just focus on your own child. You don't have to follow through others, what other moms are doing for their child. No. What your child needs from you, you have to give that. Okay? All right. So the second point is the belief system that I already had made things easy or hard. The belief system that I already had made things easy or hard. Okay, here's an example. So let's say I believe that my son's, I can feed my child pretty much anything as long as it is pretty okayly tasty. And you know what? Even though I would say like 70 to 80% of autism kids are very picky eaters, very much picky eaters, I personally did not suffer as much. Why? Because the first thing that I did with Muhammad was, even before he was diagnosed, even before he showed signs, I was very hands-on and very careful about his diet and his food habit very early on. So that was one of the things that I did not, he did not know what junk foods are, because I never bought stuff for him that time also. So he was not actually raised knowing all those foods. So we keep on saying that our child, my son is picky. His character is like this. His personality is like this. He likes burger. He likes fries. He likes stuff. So even though he has sensory issues, even though he has a lot of issues in his gut, in his brain, which dictates his picky eating personality, picky eating, behavior. But the most important part to me, I believe, I have seen also working through like 3 or 4 dozens of people now at this point of my career, that it depends on you, how much you believe something is possible for you and your child. So for me, it was never an issue, because for me, it was like I took it for granted that I am able to feed him anything as long as somebody tells me what I am supposed to feed him, and somebody just gives me a guideline to follow, and then I will be very much able to follow. So I had that faith in myself and in my abilities and in my son, that just give me a roadmap which will get me to the direction, get me to my goals, and then I will be very, very, very happy, and it will be okay for me. I will be able to reach those goals and milestones. Why? Because of my belief system. Because I was told many times, and I had to train myself as well, that I have that capability of achieving anything that I put my mind and laser, lucid, clear focus into it. So if you put your focus into just one direction, you will actually follow that. You will actually achieve that. Okay? So rather than stretching yourself in 5 different protocols, in 5 different directions, I want you to focus on just in one thing, and then do that one thing to the best of your abilities. Because then what will happen is you will not spread yourself thin, but you will focus all your weight on one place, and then you will be able to cut through all the brain fogs and all the other stuff that, our child on the spectrum goes through. So as I was saying, your belief system will affect how you parent your child. Okay? So let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, if you have any particular belief system that is affecting your own parenting, that is affecting your own abilities to understand or have faith in yourself. Because a lot of the times we think we cannot do something. We make up our mind even before we start. We make up our mind that I will fail, that you will fail, that we will fail even before we start the journey. Why? Because we have a lot of belief systems, okay? Like this is available to me, that is not available to me, I am able to do this, I'm not able to do that. All of those things, those beliefs, those mental chatter keeps us rooted to our position. So a lot of parents actually, they have the time, they have the money, and their child is also pretty young. So you can have early intervention, but they give themselves excuses that they don't have enough time, they don't have enough energy, they don't have enough money, they don't have enough blank. So if you find yourself saying something like this, I don't have enough blank, that's an excuse. And that excuse is not because you are a bad mom. No, wallahi, I'm not saying that. That excuse is there because of your belief system. Some belief inside of you, something inside of you is holding you back. So your job is to find out what that block is and annihilate that. Bomb it to the ground. Okay? Because your and your child's progress and success totally depends on what you can achieve, what you believe you can achieve, what you believe you are worth of, what you believe you are, deserving of. Okay? So that's the second point. The third thing that I learned is I will achieve what my subconscious truly believe I am worthy of. It's coming, it's just reiterating the second point a little bit further. So if your subconscious, we have two sort of, we have like 2 barriers of the mind, or our mind is in 2 different fractions. So one is the conscious mind and the other is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is about 5 to 6% of your entire mind, and the subconscious mind is 95 to 96% of your entire mind. That's mind-blowing, okay? So our conscious mind is what, let's say I'm speaking to you right now. I am using my conscious brain, conscious mind. But when under stress, our brain takes up to our, we say that our survival instincts. So when you are in stress, when you cannot focus your brain properly, when you are not in tune with yourself, then what happens is your subconscious mind will take over. Sometimes we cook the same food in the same way, and then sometimes you not even think you are doing something and that thing is done. Sometimes we drive through some places and then we don't know even how fast we have reached our destination. Or maybe you are working at home and then you just find yourself like, wow, like half an hour gone? What was I doing in this 30 minutes? That's when your subconscious took over and then it performed on behalf of your conscious mind. Okay? So your subconscious mind is the most powerful of your mind system. And if your subconscious mind has bugs, because your mind is actually like a computer. So a computer has hardwares and softwares. So subconscious part of the mind is the software. The conscious mind is actually like the hardware. So if your subconscious mind, like the software, has bugs, belief systems which are not, helping you, have bugs, then you will find it really hard to achieve certain things. You will really find it hard to move forward in certain directions, because your own subconscious mind is actually holding you back. So one of the reasons why we are, alhamdulillah, able to achieve such great success with our students is because a majority of our work is working on the mother's mindset, is working on the mother's subconscious belief patterns, finding out what's holding the mother back. Okay, so let me give you an example of one of my students. So she is a lovely lady, mom of two. She has had a very rough childhood. She lost her parents to an accident, and then she was raised by her grandma. Okay, so a lot of her, she's actually a very hardworking mom. Every time I see her, I want to give her a huge hug and like kiss her cheeks until she like smiles. Okay, so she's a very hardworking mom, but yet she has been having the toughest time to overcome the picky eating, to overcome the eating part of the protocol. So I keep asking myself, why is that so? Why is that so? Because we have to work very deep inside the subconscious mind to break those patterns so that it becomes easier for the mom to follow through with everything, right? So together, me and her, we sat down, we discussed her past, how she was raised, what she was taught to believe, and then we found out that she was actually taught, like many of us Muslim girls, like many of us Southeast Asians, okay, that if you smile too much, you will have to have hardship coming your way. If you are happy too much, don't be happy too much, because if you are happy, then you are calling in sadness. That's a wrong belief system. So what that made her believe was that life is all about hardship. Life is all about making things tough. Life is very much hard on her. So she will find everything else making things hard for her. So she was robbed of the power, what she had inside of her, by the way she was raised. Okay? So her subconscious mind still did not give her the permission to be able to assert what needs to be done. So here's this thing. There is something called parental responsibility. So giving off the responsibility, like, okay, my son loves Doritos and chicken fry, I better just give him that because I love and accept him. That's bullshit. If you love and accept your child, the first thing you will do is obviously love and accept him where he is at this moment, but then you will also want to help him move forward and become successful. What do I mean by successful? By being able to have an independent life, by being able to learn things that are needed to be able to have a human life. Just because your child has autism, your child is autistic, your child is neurodiverse, that does not mean your child does not deserve to able to lead a life worthy of success. I find it very annoying, and I have to come in very, very much, open to you guys. I find it really annoying when some moms say that, I love why would you want, if you love your son, why would you want to torture him into eating good? I was like, what the hell are you talking? Because giving your child chicken fry every single day, it doesn't have much of nutritional values. Your child needs vitamins and minerals, which has to come from natural food. So if I love my son, I will give him natural food. I will find ways to overcome his picky eating. There are so many lovely people, my peers and my friends in all the social media platforms who are working tirelessly who are working tirelessly to bring in contents, to bring in new ideas and activities to make your life easier. Okay, for example, like Picky Eating Experts. I love their activities. I love Oloxo Nutrition. I love her, Alex. She has been really incredible in how she shares her journey, into gut health and mood and things like that. So, and then Nourished Moms. I love her account as well. So there are many parents, moms, or even, not moms, maybe you just professionals who are there to really help you, but you have to give yourself permission for that. So if you love your child, you would want to give the child the best things your child needs to be able to overcome the difficulties he has. Okay, so that will be falling under parental negligence if you are just giving up, saying that, okay, I give up because it's what he's supposed to be. And a lot of the thing comes from the belief system that the medical doctors and the medical system is right. So for me, it was not the truth. For me, I did not have that belief system that doctors are like gods, whatever they're saying is right. Because I myself am a pharmacist. I studied pharmacy. I studied medicines for years. I taught medicine. So I have like 16 plus years of experience working with pharmacology, with physiology, anatomy, and things like that. So I did not have that faith, blind faith and trust that many of us have in the doctors, is that whatever they're saying is right. So if I had that faith, when the top neurologist told me that my duty as a mom is just to keep my son alive and to feed him whatever he wants to eat, then my son wouldn't have been talking. Then my son wouldn't have been going to the regular school. Then my son wouldn't have been, doing so much great, alhamdulillah. I cannot share with you, I cannot tell you how much forward we have moved with him because of the risk I took, because of the faith I put in him, because of the single-minded focus that I have been moving forward with him. Okay, and I'm going to be teaching a lot here today, so stay in tune, stay with me. Okay, all right. So the fourth point is, initially it has to be the mother taking the majority of the share of the work. So the other day, one of my students messaged me saying that I am giving up because it's just me all the time working on my son. My husband is just there giving me the money and nothing else. No support, no verbal, physical, emotional, psychological support. He's not doing anything for the child. He's actually making my life hard by not being there for me. And it's just me. I am very tired. So I took extra time to talk with her because I felt like the girl is having a lot of fear. She is fearful of herself and of her child's future. And as a mom, even though I do not speak directly with my clients and students because they have their own classes to attend and things, but I felt called to talk to her. And when I spoke to her, we had a long chat, and then I had to make her understand certain things. So that's one of the point. Initially, in the initial stages of the healing journey, of the recovery of the developmental delays of your child, this journey will need a lot from you, a lot from the mother, because most of the time, majority of the dads, they find first of all, parenting does not come naturally to them because they have not had really great examples as dad themselves. And if your husband is Southeast Asian or Asian, then you know what I'm talking about. So Asian moms, they raise their sons like princes, princess, okay? Not princess, princess, double. So Asian moms raise their son to be like prince, to order stuff, not to do stuff on their own. So they have this idea and notion that it has to be the woman to be the child bearer, to be the parent, to be the mom and the dad and the cleaner, the cook, the nurse, everything. So if it's choosing between getting the best support for your child, moving him towards success, versus fighting with your husband for the rights, guess who will win? Who will win? He will win. Okay? So I myself, what I found out was like, even in my own marriage, I had to fight a lot with my husband for the rights of my son and for my own rights, because he would just, he would actually not even understand that I need time to go out to be on myself. I need physical exercise. During pandemic, I was pretty much locked inside the room because he would not come out of his comfort zone and take care of my children so that I could have a walk outside. He wouldn't do that. My husband wouldn't do that time. So if I fought with him all the time, then I could not have had the energy to fight for my son. So I had to choose, because all human beings have some sort of boundaries, right? Even though we have huge potentials, we still have our own boundaries. So there is just 24 hours in a day, and then you just have a battery inside of your body. You can work that much. So I had to find out prioritize where my energy needs to be invested, where my time needs to be invested, so that I could get the best results. It's the 80-20 rule, okay? So rather than fighting for my right of being taken care of, initially what I did was I took on the majority of the share of working on Muhammad, okay? And I do not regret a single day. I do not regret. On the contrary, now he regrets. Now my husband regrets and tells everybody that if I wish I knew that Muhammad would have been so successful, had I knew, then I would have really given more support to my wife. Okay? So initially in the journey, you have to be the one taking the majority of the share. So rather than being resentful of that, why me all the time, why I have to do all the things, you just have to sacrifice a few months. Okay, that's all that you need, a few months. Sacrifice a few months of every other distractions and just focus only on healing yourself and your child. That's it. Okay, I stopped going out for dinners. I stopped going to other people's home because they would make me distracted. They would feed us food that were not good for my son. Okay, so I was on a healing journey with him. So I stopped a lot of other things, cut myself off, and then solely focused on Muhammad. Now that he is bloomed and flourished, now I have people coming in at my home. I go to parties. I feed him sometimes junk foods because I want him to taste happiness as well. Yes, junk food gives you a lot of happiness, but that has to be in moderation, not every day. Okay? So the fifth point is, yes, you have to take the majority of the share, but it takes both the parents to achieve the success that you can have as a family. Because if you are just fighting, you are like the one-legged soldier. For your son to be able to run, he needs both his feet. The mom is the right foot, the dad is the left. Yes, you can hop, your child can hop on you until a certain stage, but then he needs his father also. So all the father who are listening to me right now, please give yourself the grace and love, because you love your son. I know, we all know you love your child. So probably you are not focusing on things because your own belief system, as I said already in my points, your own belief systems are holding you back. The way you were parented are holding you back. The way you were brainwashed that you are the one who's supposed to just earn money and then call it a day. All of those belief systems are affecting you. And also your own fear of failures, your own fear of failing as a dad affects you from taking the risk. So for many of us, it's not actually about the money. It's mostly about the fear of failure, which keeps us, rooted from trying. You have to try many things and don't give up. Just because you tried X, Y, and Z and failed does not mean life is over. You might have to try A, B, C, A to Z. You never know which one will click. But all you can do is make the most researched choices. Okay? Make the most researched choices, not because somebody told you that to try, biomed or some other thing. Somebody told you to follow that. Don't do that. You do your own research and then you spend your resources on that. Okay? So it takes both the parents for achieving the best success. So I invite both the mother and the father. And if it's just the mother listening to me now, I invite you to show this recording. I am recording it. It's going to be up in the group and in my page and also in YouTube as well. So show your husband this very important video, because if you guys can follow through the seven things that I'm talking, wallahi, your life will change. Okay? Because these seven steps or tips and tricks and whatever you call them, they have helped many of our own students, and they are the reason thousands of parents worldwide are gaining lots of success in their own lives as well. Okay? The sixth point is budgeting and organizing is more important than how much money you make. So I say it all the time. It's not how much money you make. It's how you budget things. I might be earning $7,000, but if I'm spending $7,000 or more, I will always be poor. Agree? Let me know in the comment. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment if you agree that if I am earning X amount of money and I'm spending X amount of money, then definitely I will always be poor. I will always be short of money. So what I have to do is I have to budget my allowance properly, and then through the magical portion of budgeting, you will actually find lots of things. Yes, you will have to sacrifice certain things, and that's okay, because life is mostly about sacrificing the not so essential to make room for the more essentials. Okay, life is all about sacrificing the less essentials at this moment to give you space and resource for the more essentials. Okay, so as when I was on the journey initially, we were just one single income family and it was low income. But still I was able to spend 50% of that income on my kids. Yes, I did not buy a lot of things for myself. Yes, I bought stuff from secondhand store for my kids, for my beautiful daughter. I at one point I had to take charity also to be able to buy winter clothes for my kids. I'm not ashamed of my past. Because I had made those choices of spending, because I was able to achieve those supplements, the food, the naturopathic visits or the doctor's visit and things like that, to be able to raise my son up to the level he deserves to be raised. So I knew that I could, if I buy secondhand clothes, if I buy discounted vegetables, and I become clever to cook nicely and to fridge my stuff, to store my food properly, to meal plan, and use the intermittent fasting and all the other things that we have, I will be able to save up enough to buy the supplements for him, to buy the tonics, to buy the probiotics, to give him the extra food, the nourishment, the nutrition, visit outside, nature therapy, going outside, playing outside, send him to daycare, because initially I had to pay out of my own pocket to send him to daycare. I needed him because I know he needs the social atmosphere in the daycare, in the school, that will really help him learn speech as well. Because at home, I can teach him just enough, right? So a child needs the support of the teachers, of the peers, of the interaction with other kids on the spectrum or not on the spectrum, So what I had to do is I had to budget really hard and give and allocate the money first only to those, First only to those amount that was essential for me, okay? And then if there was left, those get distributed in the other sectors for our life, okay? All right, so once you are really nice on the budgeting and understanding how you can make the most of the money, then you will be able to get the best success for yourself as a family, okay? So the seventh and the last point that I have is you have to be the best advocate for your child. My child's best success depends on how much I am willing to advocate for his needs and make our life flow with him, not force him to flow with our life. This is very important. So a lot of the time, why we get irritated by our kids on the spectrum, or we call them slow, not being able to do anything, tujhse kuch nahi hoga, you will not be able to do anything and things like that. Why? Because we want things to be easy. So if my son understands the norms of life and follows my command, then things are easy. But our special needs kids, our special needs children, they need special needs parenting. You cannot parent your neurodiverse child like your neurotypical child, okay? Just like you cannot use your Android like you use your Apple phone, or your MacBook like your, laptop, like other IBM laptop. Same way, if you are asking him to mold himself into your idea of a child, then it's hard. It's pressurizing on your child. Is this landing on you properly? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Let me know if you're understanding or if you're not understanding, okay? So you should kind of mold yourself to fit your son's need rather than forcing your son or daughter to fit your need. And please, as a parent, as a mom, as a dad, it's our responsibility because we brought our children in the world. Nobody asked us to give birth to them. So the other day, a dad was talking to me, and then he was saying, the government is not helping us. We don't have proper Medicare. We don't have proper system. The senators are bullshit. The politicians are etc. etc. And I was like, stop. Did the government ask you to give birth to your son? Did you ask the government? Did you ask the doctor? Did you ask the senator, the politician, before you made your wife pregnant? He was like, no, what are you saying, lady? I was like, duh, your son is your responsibility. Why do you keep on saying like, it's everybody else's responsibility except yours? It's the teacher's responsibility to teach your child. It's the government's responsibility to make everything cheap or free for you. It's not done. That's not fair. That's not fair on others, and that's not fair on our own children. I'm sure not everybody thinks like that. I'm just giving examples from the various points I pick up throughout my career that I'm moving forward with. Throughout, every day I speak with many parents, and I find things really interesting, and I love sharing with you guys, because it's nice to know the perspective of others, and maybe we are subconsciously doing those things without understanding. Okay, so my mission and vision for these episodes is to make you understand and bring you close to different sorts of ideas, scientific, spiritualistic, anything and everything that will help you learn, grow, and help your child become the best version of himself. Because guess what? If your child cannot speak, have communication problem, have, developmental delays, it's very much possible to recover those developmental delays. Just because your child has autism or is autistic, doesn't mean he has to become nonverbal all throughout his life. That he has to be non-communicative, uncommunicative, angry, upset, breaking things, having tantrums and meltdowns every 5 minutes. That doesn't need to be the life. All of those things are happening because the gut and the brain are not functioning properly. Work through that, and then work through the 5 pillars that we speak. Working on yourself, mindset, the energetic discord between you, the mindset of the mom, the food, the diet, detoxification, lifestyle, and parenting. All of these 5 things, if you work on them slowly but steadily and with great focus, then you both and as an entire family, you all will reach success. Okay? So as a wrap up, I want to give like a summary of the 7 things that I learned from my 7 years of marriage, which has helped me become the best autism parent for my son, are these. The number 1 is the way I was parented dictates my parenting style. Number 2, the belief system I already had made things either easy or hard for me to follow or believe or understand and accept. Number 3, I will achieve what my subconscious thinks I deserve to achieve. I will achieve what my subconscious thinks or deserve I am, deserving of achieving. Okay. The 4th point is initially it has to be me or the mother to take the majority of the share of the recovery journey. Number 5, it also takes both the parents to be in accord with one another and work as a team. Okay. The 6th point is budgeting is more important than how much money you earn. Okay, because budgeting can make or break your financial life. And the last point is you have to be the best advocate for your child, and you have to flow your life with your child's life. Not force your child to flow with your life or to flow with your understanding, to flow with how you want things, because that will be creating friction. And the more you create friction, the more stressed you will be. Okay, so that's all I had for today. I am really honored to be here, and I really want to learn more from you guys. What are your tips that you have learned and that are helping you? Because this is all about learning and sharing and growing together. It's not just about me teaching and not learning from you. So I want to learn from you as well. Share in the comment what big takeaways you have from today's episode, or also share your own ideas and tips and tricks or hacks that have helped you as an autism parent. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Okay, share this one video with anyone who would really appreciate the love, the lessons that you have learned today, because this is a lot of things that I have said today. Come back to this video again and watch this on repeat, make notes, and be ready to change your life, because your life is really about to change if you have faith in you. Okay, I have faith in you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your God, has faith in you. So let's start working. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz. Take care and make sure you take care of yourself properly.